Well, in the last episode of Sailing Frog's Leap, I went to Marina Playita and met up with my friend Kurtis on Motor Yacht SUMMER BREEZE. He invited me to ride his yacht through the Panama Canal. Most importantly, we topped off the diesel tanks. And in the last episode, we left off with Kurtis calling the Flamenco signal station to confirm our time to pick up the Canal Transit Advisor.
Summer Breeze. Good evening, pilot time tomorrow 0400.
Let me just check with Marine Traffic Control our schedule, and then we get going, okay?
Okay. Would you like anything to drink?
Yes.
We got Coke, water,
Water, please. Bottle
and
of water.
lots of beer. It's too early in the morning. Too early in the morning. A very slow.
Transit. Good morning. North 21 Charlie, Summer Breeze. Checking radio.
21 Charlie, Summer Breeze, transit, exit and radio. The DA is to lock up on the east side of Get Up Butters with North 21. 21 will have that east side from 0545.
After picking up our Canal Transit Advisor, we made our way over to the Puerto Balboa turning basin, where we would wait for motor vessel Propel Grace to overtake us and enter the first gate of the Miraflores locks. And if you look closely, you can see motor vessel Propel Grace slipping past us in the darkness. And as dawn breaks, the line handlers begin readying their gear, and Summer Breeze begins her slow approach towards the Miraflores locks. Well, the procedure here is always the same. As Kurtis makes his approach to the canal wall, the line handlers on the wall will send a heaving line to Summer Breeze, and the line handlers on Summer Breeze will use that heaving line as a messenger to send these blue heavy-duty mooring lines back to the line handler on the canal wall. Well, now is an ideal time to introduce you to a couple of our line handlers. In the yellow shirt, we've got Justin, and in the orange shorts, Jose. What's cool about Jose being on board is actually Jose was a line handler for me when I went through on Frog's Leap. Juan is in the purple shirt, and he's another line handler. But unlike Justin and Jose, who are working the bow, Juan and Luis are working the stern lines. So Jose's going to go for the line forward, and Juan will take the line and walk it to the stern. Here you see Jose is ready to go, but he doesn't send that line back yet. No, because Summer Breeze isn't in position yet. They're still moving forward. And those blue lines, they're heavy. So we're going to wait until we get in position. Then they all go over at the same time. At this point, you really don't want to be moving forward any faster than those line handlers can walk. Well, motor vessel Propel Grace, she's pretty heavy, and she's only got a few inches to spare from the sides of the canal. So she's pretty slow to get in and out, but as you'll see, that's going to work to our advantage. All the lines are going over now. Once the lines on the canal wall are secured, the line handlers on Summer Breeze take in the slack. Well, as you can see, it's a pretty well choreographed evolution. You really want to have people on board who know what they're doing. Well, here we go. We're on the elevator going up. We've got to do this 3 times, 27 feet each time. Twice at Miraflores locks, and once at the Pedro Miguel locks. Check out this roll-on, roll-off car carrier coming into the chamber beside us. Yeah, it's the RCC Compass, Ray's Car Carriers. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty clean paint job, too. Pretty impressive. Well, now it's time to move Summer Breeze to the second chamber of Miraflores locks. So we're collecting that heavy blue mooring line, and we're going to walk the boat forward again, just like before, having just that light messenger line out there. And just as before, once we're in position, we send those heavies over. And take out the slack. The amount of water and the speed with which it fills is amazing. And it's super important for the line handlers to keep tending these lines. The boat's going to go up 27 feet, so slack is going to be introduced into that line continuously. It's got to be continuously tended. Well, look at that. Looks like we've got an audience today at the Visitor Center. It turns out that when you're tied off in the chamber, it's a good time to chill out on the bridge and socialize a little.
That's right.
She don't want to go down. So I'll take her dead body off and let somebody else in.
Well, we're bringing in the lines. We're done here at Miraflores locks. Now, we're on our way to Pedro Miguel locks to take the final chamber up to Lake Gatun. These trains are called mules, and they tie off to the deep drafts with steel cables, and they drag the deep drafts through each chamber.
Prop washers walking me around a little.
Summer Breeze has some powerful engines, and it takes skillful hands to keep the boat under control at these slow speeds. It's only about a mile from the Miraflores locks to the Pedro Miguel locks.
Thank you. Good job.
Yes.
Well, these gates are called miter gates, and when they close, they form a V shape pointing upstream. Each gate leaf is hollow and it's buoyant, which makes it easier to swing open and close despite their massive size. How massive? Well, the gates are about 70 feet high and 6.5 feet thick. It's pretty amazing to consider that the miter gate concept was created during the Renaissance period by none other than Leonardo da Vinci. Filling one of these chambers takes about 8 to 10 minutes. From here, it's 8 miles through Culebra Cut and 20 miles through Lake Gatun to Gatun Locks. Well, the plan was to overtake Propel Grace on her starboard side in Culebra Cut. That didn't play out exactly as we planned. As Kurtis added RPMs, he started to notice an overheating situation beginning to develop on both engines.
Both of my sea strainers are low. Well, we went up to full power, about 2,300 RPMs, which is normally where I run her. She'll sit at about 180 over here on the starboard and about 160 or so on the port. A few minutes ago, at 2,300 RPM, she went over 220. So we shut her down to idle and went down and checked. And it looked like the sea strainer buckets are only about half full of water, which would make me think that there's something blocking the intake.
So Kurtis headed back down with tools in hand to clear out both of these sea strainers. The starboard engine's running a lot cooler now. Now onto the port engine.
Well, we cleaned the strainers. I added some oil to the port engine. Right now we're holding our temperature, which is good, but the smoke coming out of the rear makes me believe that we might have burned up a ring. So, quite concerned about that.
Well, over time the smoke dissipated, so hopefully no harm, no foul. Well, the plan was to go into Gatun locks ahead of motor vessel Propel Grace. And working on the engine, we've fallen behind a bit. The race is on now, because we've got to get to Gatun locks before motor vessel Propel Grace. If we don't, we're gonna have to spend the night on a mooring buoy, and we might be liable for fines. Going through Lake Gatun is a perfect opportunity for the line handlers to have some lunch and some much needed rest as we race to catch up with motor vessel Propel Grace. Well, that's Gatun locks up ahead, and motor vessel Propel Grace already has her port side lines over. This is going to be close. Whoa, that was intense. We made it just in time. Well, I'm going to stop my coverage of Motor Yacht Summer Breeze's transit through the Panama Canal right here, as they enter the first chamber of Gatun locks. And the reason is because Kurt and Sam, they've created their own YouTube channel. It's called Captain Kurt. And I've included a link to their most recent video in the description of this video. And in that video, they're going to go through the last 3 chambers of the Panama Canal heading eastbound. Those are the 3 chambers of Gatun locks. They'll disembark the Canal Transit Advisor and transit Limon Bay en route Shelter Bay Marina. So please click on their link. These are a couple of really good guys living the dream out on the water, and I think you'll like their channel. Thanks for watching this episode of Sailing Frog's Leap. Be sure to subscribe to be notified when new episodes drop.